Hey guys, so today I will be talking about the novel Only Child by Rhiannon Navin. Um, I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. I adore that name, it's beautiful. And I will say that I will probably cry in this video because you will you will understand why in a few minutes. I'll try to keep it short, not give away everything. So the novel is pretty much about 6-year-old boy named Zach. And he's very sweet. He's extremely intelligent. He's an empath. And the novel starts off right away with the school shooting. So, like I said, I don't want to give away what happens. So, I will just focus on certain elements that I like about the novel. And I just can't make a review about this novel without pretty much explaining why I thought it was so amazing, because I know this sounds really weird to say, but I pretty much saw myself in Zach, even though I'm almost 30 years old. I know I look younger. I've been told, I guess. I I still feel like I am pretty much like a 6-year-old, 7-year-old in my heart after the trauma I've undergone. And while I haven't experienced, I haven't endured, a school shooting, I do suffer from PTSD. So I have nightmares. I have horrible anxiety. I I have tremendous fear over little things. Some days I'm scared of like pretty much everything, just like how Zach was in that novel. And just really, reading it, reading that book was just, as an empath, reading that was just so, it was very difficult. But at the same time, it was so compulsively, to me, readable. Like I couldn't stop. And like I didn't want to stop, but it was very hard because, like I said, I'm an empath. So I'm reading Zach's, his turmoil, his distress, his PTSD as it's unfolding, and I just wanted to hug him and hold him, and oh my God, it was such a, such a roller coaster of emotions, and I think the writer did such an amazing job telling the story through Zach, because I don't think the story would have been as great if it was told through, the mom or the dad. So I think that it was very, I think it was such a great decision for her to write the story through his eyes, through his point of view, like, and I just, yeah, I was blown away. I really was. I don't know why it's hard for me to talk about novels that are just really, they impact me so much. It's like, how do you describe something you love? Like, why do you love it? It's like, it's so difficult. And just the way that she writes, it was so amazing. Like, I just kept reading and reading and reading and reading and reading, and I couldn't stop. And it was like one of the best books I've ever read in such a long time. No joke. I'm not playing. And I definitely thought I was going to cry during the book, and I was on the verge to, but I didn't. Because I cry a lot. I cry so much. I'm trying to learn how to to like the fact that I cry so much, but it's just that every time I cry, I feel like, oh my God, all this pain is coming out, and it's so visceral, and it's like, but I know it's good for you. And I just, I love, I love the whole novel. I loved every page. I thought it was just perfect, like no joke. I wouldn't change anything about the novel. It was that good. Like seriously. And I actually got to meet her today. She went to my library and I got to meet her and I was like, oh my God, it was so amazing. She's so sweet. She's such a beautiful person inside and out. And I don't know. If you haven't read the book, you have to read the book. Like it's just so amazing. And I know I didn't really talk about what happens in the book because I don't like giving away the plot. I don't like, spoil it for people that haven't read it yet. You might be interested. Maybe somebody told you about it and you're like, oh, I might read this book maybe. And like, I don't like doing that. Like, I know a lot of people love to, give little spoilers and everything. I don't. I don't like that because I personally don't like it when it happens to me. So, but yeah, I hope my review wasn't too horrible, but I loved the novel so much, even though for me it was very difficult to read because I'm also a trauma survivor. So, oh, and I just remembered what I wanted to talk about. Like, but the part that really, I guess, like, really, like, kind of like, how do I say it, gutted me, or kind of like, it felt like somebody went into my soul and just like, like clutched it was there's a part where Zach finally starts to show his anger. So it's really eerie. Like him and we reacted pretty much the same way to our trauma, even though it was, like I said, we had different events happen to us. At first, he was very numb. He was very like, disoriented. He was kind of like in a catatonic state, right? And that's how I was too when this certain thing happened to me. I felt numb. I felt very detached from the world. I was disassociating a lot, like he was. And then the anger came, and the anger like it came out of nowhere, and it was like explosive. Like there's a scene where, I like I said, I hate to talk about parts in the novel, but there's a scene where he goes to his bedroom and he like starts throwing everything against the wall. He like throws everything everywhere. He's so angry. He's just so angry. And he finally shows his anger, right? And that just brought me back to like, how long has it been now? Like maybe over 10 years ago, like maybe 12 years ago, I finally showed my anger over what happened, and it was in the exact same way. And everybody was like shocked. So what happened was like I ran to my bedroom, I locked it so nobody could come in, and I started grabbing everything and throwing it, like throwing everything, and I was like screaming. I was like, oh my God, I was like, I'm sure if somebody had been seeing me, it looked like I was going insane, right? And it just broke my heart to read that part where it just finally, all the anger just came out, you know? And I just see so much of myself in Zach. And like I said, I just wanted to hold him and, oh God, I'm gonna cry. And, you know, and tell him everything's gonna be okay. And because I I have to do that to myself all the time, you know, tell myself it's gonna be okay. After I have a nightmare or a panic attack, I'm so grateful that, you know, she wrote this beautiful novel that was so, it's just so, it's so beautiful, you know, and it's so like, it's so raw, and I feel like so many people are in like a state of stupor, you know, not because they want to, but it's because we're not allowed to feel our emotions, and we should, you know, we should honor our emotions. We should like respect it, you know, like if someone's sad, we should honor it, and like instead of ignoring it, like Zach says in the book, we have to like, you know, help each other. And he, you know, he goes to sleep with a stuffy every night, and so do I. I sleep with my stuffy every night. He helps me. I don't have nightmares when I'm with him, so he's always with me. I've had him for like 2 years now. And I just don't care anymore if people think it's stupid that I'm sensitive, that I'm an empath, and I'm just so happy that there are more people that are accepting that they're sensitive and that they're empathetic, because that's a good thing. We need more of that, you know. We need artists, we need people who want to help and heal. And I was blown away by the book. So thank you so much, Rhiannon, for writing such an amazing, beautiful novel. And I cannot wait to read your next novel. And thank you for talking to me earlier today and for letting me, you know, hug you. And I will be sure to buy your book when I get paid on Friday, because I think it's an injustice that, how you mentioned your book is not selling very well in the US. I'm going to try to change that. So going to Barnes & Noble, and that's like the first thing I'm going to buy. So yeah, thank you so much again, and I look forward to reading the next novel. I can't wait to read it. All right. I hope the review wasn't so horrible. Like I said before, I'm a writer. I'm not really a speaker at all. I'm still learning. So thank you for watching. Take care.